Driving in Utah in recent years feels more like a scene from Mad Max than a simple commute. Whether you're hopping on the I-15, the 215, the I-80, Bangerter Highway, Redwood Road, or really any of Utah's streets, the odds of you and your loved ones coming face to face with automotive carnage seems to increase every year. In fact, according to Utah's Department of Public Safety, the state's total crash count has increased 24.5% since 2010. In just the past 5 years alone, hit and runs have doubled from about 2,500 to more than 5,000 per year, while auto insurance expenses have risen nearly 60% in the same period. It's gotten so bad, even some members of Utah's legislature have begun to notice.
Unlicensed drivers are putting Utah families at risk, driving up insurance costs, and making our law enforcement's job even tougher. Hi, I'm Representative Matt McPherson, and this is my plan to make Utah roads safer for you and your family. The numbers are staggering, especially in my district. Between 2022 and 2024, West Valley City Police reported a 50% increase in traffic stops involving unlicensed drivers. Data shows nearly half of all solved hit-and-run cases involved a driver without a license. When I started digging into this issue, law enforcement told me the same story again and again. These unlicensed drivers don't know the rules of the road, they can't read or understand the road signs, and often avoid accountability altogether.
Gave me his passport, so he doesn't have a driver license.
You ran the red light back there, okay? So I'm going to cite you for that, and then you're also operating a vehicle without a valid license.
Hang on, did you pick up on that?
Unlicensed drivers are putting Utah families at risk.
Unlicensed drivers are putting Utah families at risk. Unlicensed drivers are putting Utah families at risk.
Very poor choice of words.
Unlicensed drivers. Now, if you ignored the rest of the context clues, you'd be led to believe there was an epidemic of Americans refusing to get their driver's licenses in Utah. But let's roll back the footage and check those clues again.
These unlicensed drivers don't know the rules of the road, they can't read or understand the road signs, and often avoid accountability altogether.
You ran the red light back there, okay? So I'm going to cite you for that, and then you're also operating a vehicle without a valid license.
Gave me his passport, so he doesn't have a driver license.
Foreigners. They're foreigners. But hang on, Big Rock, I hear you say. Utah is a red state. We voted for Trump 3 elections in a row, and Republicans control 80% of the legislature and the governorship. There's no way we'd allow foreigners and illegal immigrants to operate motor vehicles on our roads. Well, you'd be correct on those first 3 things, but let me introduce you to Curtis Bramble. Bramble served as a Utah State Senator from 2001 to 2024. His legislative accomplishments include sponsoring SB 227 in 2005 and SB 216 in 2022. What do these bills do? Well, SB 227 allows the state to grant driver privilege cards to anyone who's unable to prove lawful residence, while SB 216 expands Utah's driver's license test to include more than 13 languages. Yes, you heard that correctly. Utah is one of 19 states to offer driving privileges to illegal immigrants, issuing more than 35,000 of these special driver privilege cards per year. Utah also offers its driver's license test in more than 13 languages, including Arabic, Dari, French, Korean, Mandarin Chinese, Portuguese, Somali, Spanish, Swahili, Tagalog, Tongan, Ukrainian, and Vietnamese. Don't worry though, if your preferred language is unavailable, you can commission one of the Utah Driver License Division approved interpreters to help you take your test. Never mind that all of our road signs are in English, Utah's roads are for everybody, apparently. By permitting illegal immigrants and non-English speakers to legally operate motor vehicles on our roads, Utah's government is emboldening many more of these foreigners to drive without bothering to apply for a driver's privilege card or a license. After all, if they're not going to follow our federal immigration laws, why would they bother following our state traffic laws?
That's why I'm running legislation this session to get unlicensed drivers off of Utah roads. My proposal increases the penalties for driving without a license, especially cracking down on repeat offenders, and gives law enforcement better tools to identify and track unlicensed drivers. Utahns deserve safe roads and responsible drivers.
Rep. McPherson, we certainly appreciate your willingness to acknowledge this problem and coming down hard on repeat offenders is definitely a step in the right direction. But unless your bill repeals SB 227 and SB 216, your attempt to make Utah's roads safer and drivers more responsible will just be putting window dressing on a much bigger problem. Sure, this will require you to undo all of Curtis Bramble's hard work, which might make his lobbying efforts kind of awkward moving forward. But removing 35,000 illegal drivers and ensuring everyone operating vehicles on Utah's roads can read our road signs is ultimately what's needed to truly make our roads safe again. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you watched this long, please hit the like and subscribe button and follow Big Rock Insights on X for more Utah political commentary.